Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. I want you to join me and let's make this delicious and soft white bread recipe. This is a great recipe to start with when making bread for the first time. It's easy to make and the ingredients are also easy to find wherever you are. Let's get right into it. I have some lukewarm milk, flour, sugar, yeast, salt, nutmeg, and margarine. The exact measurements will be in the description box below. So I just poured in my warm milk and then I'm going to put in the sugar and stir it gently. After that, add in the yeast and stir it and leave it for about 5 minutes covered or until it forms up nicely. And it's been about 5 minutes and the yeast has formed nicely. I'm going to add a half of the portion of flour that I'll be using for this recipe and also my nutmeg and then the salt. I'm going to be mixing this with my spatula and I'm going to add in the flour from time to time so that it combines nicely, and then after it forms a mass of dough, I can now start using my hand mixer to mix the dough. Thank you so much to all my returning subscribers for supporting me on this channel. I'm so grateful, and if you are a new member to this channel, you are so welcome. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this family together. So I just added my last portion of flour to this, and I'm going to set the spatula aside and then start using my hand mixer. Now I'm going to knead this with the mixer for about 3 to 4 minutes and then put in the margarine. Then after adding the margarine, I'm going to knead it for about 8 to 10 minutes, okay? One way you know your dough is ready is if you poke it and it bounces back at you, you know it's ready. For those kneading by hand, you can knead this for about 8 to 10 minutes or until you poke it, as I said earlier, and it bounces back at you. My dough is done. I'm going to put it in an oiled bowl and then cover it and allow it to rise until it's doubled in size. This should take between 40 minutes to an hour depending on the temperature of where you are staying. And the dough has risen beautifully. I'm going to transfer it onto my lightly floured surface and just sprinkle a bit of flour on it because I want this to be easy to work with. It's still a bit sticky. I'm just going to form it into a ball kind of, and then I'm going to use a knife or anything that you can use to cut the dough. I have two baking pans that I'll be using for this. One is slightly bigger than the other, so I would just like to cut them ahead of time into the desired sizes that I'll be using. So I'm going to put some margarine in these baking pans because it helps that the bread does not stick to the pan, okay? It's easier to remove when it's done baking. I'm doing this for both pans, and then after that we continue to work on the dough. I'm going to lightly flour my work surface and then start working on the first dough. This dough, I'm going to use a rolling pin to gently roll the dough out until the width is about the same width as the baking pan that I'll be using. Then I'm going to roll it to itself and then slightly tack it into the log shape that I'm looking for. You can add a bit of flour to make the dough easier to work with and then transfer it into your baking tin, seam side down, which means the bottom side will be facing down so that we can have a smooth top. This is the second dough. I'm just going to use my hand to roll it into a log sort of and then pinch the back of it so that we can have the top really smooth and then the downside will not open up during the baking process. This dough is going to sit in a warm place and rise until it's doubled in size, really depending on the temperature of where you are. And this is a cloth I used to cover it. And it's going to bake at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes or more. Keep an eye on your bread because every oven is different. This is how the bread turned out. I was so excited about how nice it came out, well risen, and I was just excited. I brushed it with some margarine to ensure that the crust is still soft and nice. And then voila, bread was ready. This went so well in my house. It was a nice thing to behold and it was a nice thing to eat. I just want to show you how the bread looks after it's out of the pan. It's still a bit warm, but I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. It's nice, it's stretchy, it's airy, it's soft, and it's so nice to eat. Try this at home and let me have your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. See you in my next video. Bye.